so this will be part 2 of the resort situation. We did stay in another location after that, in Harndorf. This one's still really difficult because there are things that I've pieced together afterwards that I didn't know at the time. So really, really difficult. And I don't know if these people think that nobody is ever going to know that this happened, because there's multiple people like involved. There's so many people. They've left so much of a trail that it's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of think that they're sitting back thinking, well, what is anyone going to do? No one's going to do nothing about this. And you know what? They're right at some level, which is exactly why I'm sitting here, is to let them know that, you know, this isn't going to be easy. I'm not making it easy for them. No way. I don't know any of these people anything. Like, they're really confused if they're sitting back thinking that I'm in fear of my life and that I should sit down and shut up. That is never going to happen when it comes to your child. Never going to happen. So, in the Harndorf location, we went to stay at a place in Harndorf. Pretty low key, I guess. It was just like cabins. There was what they called a spa, right? So an indoor pool, a little massage area, a massage chair behind a curtain kind of thing, maybe two. I was sitting in one, so I don't know. Where they did treatments, like, you know, relaxation kind of stuff. Once again, these are very vague memories. I feel like I'm looking down upon somebody else when I'm reliving them. And yeah, very hard to relive, because when you do sit back and relive it, all you want to do is just grab your child, you know, and just fly away. Is all I could say. So we arrive. This actually is kind of strange. I mean, it looks like just a normal, the size of like just a normal house from, right? One street back from the main street of Harndorf. And just looks like a house. I mean, I even said, I think, where are we? Like, what is this? We're pulling down this driveway, and but it was very big, like deep. And yeah, there were lots of cabins. So we stay the night, and the next day, Craig tells me that he's booked me into the spa to, you know, have a massage or whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. It was like a, no, you know, I've decided we're going to do this, and I'm taking Jet, and I'm not going to lie, I think this was probably one of the scariest moments for me, and I don't feel, you know, any kind of way about saying that, because I was in severe trauma back then and fearful. We arrive, right, and we're greeted by a giant man, and I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a man out in public this huge, okay? Wow, yeah. I don't know. between 6 and 7 foot tall, giant man, and I'll never forget his neck, as in it was like the bottom of a tree where it branches out, where the roots kind of splay out, like giant. Didn't really think much of it at the time. Obviously I did, because I picked that information and stored it. I'm in the spa the next day, and there's a woman sitting with me. What can we do? I was just severely messed up. I was sitting there crying to her, saying I can't do this right now. And I was literally just crying. She was looking at me with contempt and frustration, and this is one thing that I found really hard to understand how this is happening, let alone how anyone even knew who I was. I'm just a normal person. I've never put myself out there in that kind of way, and but the fact that I was being received in a very different way that I've always been received before. So I'm sitting there crying to her, and she kind of got frustrated and said, "Look, why don't you go sit down in the massage chair and collect your thoughts, and then come back out, go for a swim or something. We've got the pool." And really weird, this pool was so very small spa area, literally just a pool, and then like a seating area opposite it, undercover, like room, so to speak. But funnily enough, like the pool was butted up against a corner, so it only had access from like one side where the steps were. And I don't know why, but I keep envisioning a door like right at the end of that pool, which is kind of weird, because you would literally step out onto the top of the pool, like the edge. Anyway, that's irrelevant. I'm sitting in the massage chair, and that's when I start hearing a conversation playing out, and I know it was that man that I saw, and he was discussing me with another man, 2 male voices. He's been told, maybe if he'd dispatch me in the chair, it's cheap enough to replace that chair, and they were talking, it's only $1,700, $2,000 or something to grab a new one. So I promptly got out of the massage chair and come out into the open with her again, and broke down again, and I couldn't handle it, so I left. And the other thing I recall is at night coming out and having a smoke outside the cabin, and just sort of sitting there quietly, and of course you can hear everything in the street, the main street of Harndorf, and I'm hearing a group of people, possibly in like the pub, bar, something like that, courtyard, and they're all discussing me, and talking about, the one lady's laughing and saying, "I've got some giant barrels, if you need something." I really hope, people understand. I, at some point, felt like I had been put on a different planet. Like, I just could not understand that these were actual people. Like, these are people. You know what I mean? Like, they're literally laughing and talking about, killing off someone's mum. I don't even want to think about the other parts of the conversation that they had. day we go like walking through the main street. I wanted to go to the candy store, or I don't know, maybe Jet did. Maybe we both said no, we'll take him in there and have a look. So we're in the candy shop, which is always a favourite up there. I have my back to the door as I'm at the counter paying, for whatever we wanted. The door opens and I think there's a bell on it or whatever. I didn't turn around. I'm kind of recognising this in my unconscious. And footsteps come in. And I basically just froze. Like I didn't look around. I didn't look at this person because I knew I'd felt this before. And I knew what I was feeling, all right? This was another very big man. The footsteps, obviously, thump, 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 very slow and just ominous. I never turned around. I didn't see him. And I heard those same footsteps back at Dad's house, in the main house after Rose's death. And I don't know if it's the same person, I'm just saying that same energy, okay? The other strange thing was we're out on the main street. Two people come past, a woman and a man. And surprisingly, nobody was really coming up to talk to me. People were looking at me like I was the devil in the street. Like that's how people were looking at me. So unusual, for someone to come up and compliment me. But the woman sort of came up and said, "Oh, I really like your dress," and started complimenting me on that. And this guy was sort of looking a bit shady, and that was that, and they walked off. And that's all I can remember from that so far. So